let's go to mental fuel. Just like if you're traveling in a car and you want to go from point A to point B, you need a vehicle, but also you also need to have the fuel. Now in our case, our body and our mind as the vehicle, but you also need to have the fuel, and especially the mental fuel. And if you don't have the mental fuel, things are going to be complicated. Now here's what I can tell you: the bigger your goals, the more energy you need to achieve them. I'm talking about your physical energy, I'm talking about your mental energy, I'm talking about the mood, general well-being. So you need to be having high energy, and the way you can achieve that is very simple, but people take these things for granted. Now, if you want to achieve your goal with full energy and never stop until you achieve your goal, you really need to take care of yourself. And the easiest way to do that is to focus on these three things, which are your mental fuel. Now, what are these? Number one, sleep. You need to sleep. I know that you sleep, but the point here is you need to have adequate sleep. Now, what is adequate? That's $1 million question. I'm not a sleep expert, so I can't tell you exactly how much sleep you would need. But here's the thing. You need adequate sleep. Now, for some of you, it's 7 hours. For some of you, it's 8 hours. So what I like to tell you is, just make some kind of a sleep log. Maybe first 4-5 days sleep for 7 hours and see how the next day feels like. Are you feeling lethargic? Are you feeling lazy? You need to understand where your adequate sleep is. Now, here's the danger. I know many people, because in their quest of achieving more, sometimes they sacrifice sleep. And I can tell you, basically, it's like, you're in a long journey and you're not using the full fuel. Obviously, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually reach the destination. That's really not going to happen. So sleep is super important. You need to have enough sleep. I know some people where they boast to other people how little sleep they have every day. You can really perform without adequate sleep in the short term, but if you want to have really high energy towards your goals, you need to really have a well-rested body, well-rested mind and brain, and that's the reason why sleep is very, very important. If you're talking about peak mental performance, you need to have sleep. That is the first thing. The second thing is food. The food that you eat can also make an impact. One of the things which is very popular is eat your food for nutrition, not for taste. As much as possible, eat nutritious foods compared to tasty food. And if you can find a combination of some nutritious food that is tasty for you, well, that's the magic spot, right? You could definitely want to do that. Otherwise, you focus more on the nutritious, because we need to have energy. And here's the thing. If you are focusing mostly on the tasty food and high sugar food, what happens? You feel lazy, you feel lethargic. That actually impacts your focus. That also affects your sleep. And you know what? You can have the big goals in your life, but you will not have the fuel. It's not going to be really useful for you. So this is a very, very important thing. Now, before we can get into more advanced steps 3, 4, 5 habits, do not ignore these things, because these things can really stop people from achieving their full potential, and that's a pity. And the last one is exercise. In Singapore, the Health Promotion Board actually has a simple formula. Minimum you need to work about 150 minutes of exercise in 1 week. So that is usually comes down to 30 minutes of exercise over 5 days. It's up to you what kind of exercise you need to do. Now, I'm not saying that 30 minutes of exercise per day is going to give you 6 packs, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you need to move your body, because that is where energy also comes from. Now, again, this might look like very simple. I can tell you people have very, very ambitious goals at the beginning of the year. And then if you get into the wrong habits as far as sleep, food, and exercise is concerned, I can tell you it's all going to go waste. So do not take these things lightly. Now, here's a quick question for you. By regulating your sleep and food and exercise, if you just go for a 7-day exercise and see for yourself whether this is helping you or not, at the end of 7-day exercise, if you think, hey, you know what, I didn't feel more energetic, then don't do this. So my suggestion for you, and in fact, I urge you, take it like a 7-day challenge, and every day make sure you actually create an Excel sheet or a Google spreadsheet and write down, okay, did I have adequate sleep today? Did I eat proper nutritious food today? Did I exercise today? And if you can get 3 check marks for each day for 7 days, a total 21 check marks, I can tell you, you would want to continue that for not only the rest of the month, rest of the year, but for rest of your life as well, because this is where you need to get the energy from. You need to have the mental energy, the physical energy, and also a proper positive mood, and that is what you get from these things.